It's good morning and welcome to our show, TVC Breakfast. My name is Etoma Edu.
And good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to another fantastic day where we get to update you everything happening in our very beloved country, Nigeria. There is a lot happening and there's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. The name is Ria Abdul. Welcome to our show.
That's right, Nigeria. It is time for breakfast. Now, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're choosing to spend your morning here with us on the TVC Breakfast Show. We're very grateful and you're very welcome. I'm Olamide Odekunle.
Absolutely. It's the midweek edition of TVC Breakfast. It's another time for us to give you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Sheita, and thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you guys.
Of course, good to see you.
I have never missed a colleague as much as I miss you. The brains in that head when you do the newspaper.
I know, right? Ibrahim, we actually missed you. It's good to have you back.
Welcome
Good to see you guys again. But I enjoyed you
guys.
guys back home.
Yeah.
It felt as though I should just spend like a week, away from the office because I was enjoying myself, looking at the analysis and all of that.
Oh,
I was like,
amazing.
these are really my colleagues.
Okay.
So it's different feeling, as you said, different feeling when you're on the table and different
outside the
feeling
table.
when you're
I
on the big
totally
screen.
agree.
You guys are doing well.
Totally agree.
And
But
I
anyway,
messaged Ibrahim and I said, Ibrahim, when you come back? He said, very soon. Didn't give me a date. Very soon. I said,
I like that. But anyway, good morning, each and every one of you. It's another very, very fantastic morning, and there's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. Let me give you a quick rundown. You know how we do it. At some point, Ibrahim will be bringing us a newspaper review where we get to talk about everything that has made headlines on the newspaper. We get to dissect it right here on this table. We're going to have an interview. We'll talk about Chimamanda Adichie's son that passed away. Mari Dottie is going to join us on the show, and we get to just speak about the modalities and the way forward. And then when we take you to Abuja, the FCT, we will be talking about the LP crisis. Very, very important conversation from Abuja. And then we'll come back to Lagos, where the very beautiful Olamide will take us through everything that has been happening in the world of social media and more. So it's a very packed show this morning. Make sure that you definitely stay with us and grab that cup of coffee. But let's start with the story where President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to a green and inclusive transition, aligning climate action with energy, access, economic growth, and social development. Now, speaking at the Sustainability Summit in Abu Dhabi, he said Nigeria is advancing integrated solutions across finance, technology, energy, and human capital, noting that climate change now affects the economy, health, food, security, and energy systems. We have more in this report.
At a gathering of global leaders, policymakers, and investors in Abu Dhabi, President Bola Tinubu delivered a clear message. Nigeria is ready to lead, partner, and invest in a sustainable future.
Nigeria stands with the global community, moving beyond ambition and towards delivery. The nation views the Nexus approach as an opportunity to align climate action with energy access, economic growth, job creation, and social inclusion.
President Tinubu praised the organizers, including partners from the United Arab Emirates and the ASEAN, for creating a platform that connects finance, technology, energy, and human capital, a connection he described as critical to today's sustainability challenge.
To translate ambition to impact, we are modernizing Nigeria's energy architecture. The Electricity Act of year 2023 now provides for decentralized, inclusive energy delivery. In practical terms, this means sustainable power to rural communities, off-grid health facilities, educational institutions, markets, and the underserved communities.
President Tinubu announced key steps already taken by Nigeria to strengthen climate governance. These include a new national carbon market activation policy and the launch of a national carbon registry to improve emission tracking and transparency.
In year 2025, Nigeria took a major regulatory steps to strengthen our climate governance and sustainability. We adopted the National Carbon Market Activation Policy NCMAP, and launch the National Carbon Registry to improve our measurement, reporting, and verification, MRV, the system and investors' safeguards.
As the Sustainability Summit continues in Abu Dhabi, Nigeria is positioning itself not just as a participant, but as a partner, ready to collaborate, innovate, and deliver a greener and more inclusive future. For Nigeria, the message from Abu Dhabi is clear. Sustainability is no longer optional. It is the pathway to growth, opportunity, and long-term prosperity. Femi Akonde, TVC News.
All right, thank you so much, Femi Akonde. Such a beautiful report. I must give it to him. That was a really fantastic report. You know, prior to when the president went, we were having conversations about it, Etoma, that he's actually going to Abu Dhabi for this particular summit. You know, even though we saw criticisms from different people saying that, oh, there's a lot happening in the country. What do we need sustainability for? But it's just beautiful to see our president take center stage and have this kind of bold conversations. You know, I think it's time that we also know how important, you know, climate is. And not just climate, he also spoke about food security. He also spoke about job creation as well. And, you know, oftentimes we say that he's the best person to market the country. Who better go outside and say Nigeria is fantastic? Who better go outside and get us investments rather than the president? Mr. Toma, what do you make of this?
Well, Mr. President is the chief salesman of the country. You know, so when opportunities like this come, in spite of challenges that may be at home, there are always challenges at home in every country in the world. If he sees an opportunity like this, he needs to take it. And look at the kind of speech he had with the kind of people that were in the hall that day that he sold Nigeria, and also told them, look, we're doing something about carbon emission. Even though some people will say, you are doing something about carbon emission and you guys want to do 3,000 barrels a day. How does that sink in? But all the same, the people have the privilege of getting this message from the #1 citizen of the country, and that is very pivotal.
Yeah, and I'm happy, Olamide, that we are taking global stage. You know, for this particular year, it's quite different. You know, this summit has been happening since 2008, but this particular year, it's very, very different. You know, just not even about the theme alone, but the amount of countries that participated, you know, as well. Hearing our president say this, he also said something really important, where he said Nigeria is unveiling a major climate investment, you know, platforms, which a lot of people are looking forward to. But we're just hoping that we do not hear all of these and later not see it again. That's another thing that we're talking about.
Absolutely. This year is very different because we're seeing Nigeria not just be part of the dialogue around climate change, but we're actually putting our money where our mouth is. Now, as it stands, Nigeria aims to mobilize anywhere between $25 billion to $30 billion in green climate and green industrial financing, which means we're going to generate a lot of income to really transit us into renewable energy, as well as increase our revenue, which I think is great. But at the sidelines of this summit, it's very important to note that Nigeria unveiled a national climate change fund, I believe, worth roughly about $2 billion. And at the sidelines of this summit, we also signed a CEPA, which is essentially a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the United Arab Emirates, which means that we are now in full economic partnership with them. Now, fun fact for you guys, Nigeria actually loses about $1.5 billion yearly, according to global environmental assessments, from pollution-related risks and environmental risks. So this is not just an environmental discussion. This is also an economic one. We are bleeding environmentally, and it's time to put our money where our mouth is.
Exactly, and I'm just hoping that it's something that, you know, we get to see at the end of the day. I'm looking about job creations, which is very important as well. I'm looking about new investments. I'm looking about, you know, the youths now having something to do. And I'm just happy that he had these conversations. But Ibrahim, you know, above these conversations, we also know that there's a tariff drop as well. So in our trade, you know, a lot of Nigerians in Dubai should be excited right now because you can now get things in Dubai, you know, for a really cheaper price.
Absolutely. About 7,000 of different goods, you know, will be, you know, duty-free, tariff, you know, removed, even though we have one of the countries outside of, somewhere in the West saying that it's going to impose tariff on all of the countries. So it's good that we are seeing businesses, we are seeing countries coming together, and we are seeing businesses uniting. And this is a president who had gone to UAE. You remember when he became president, the first thing first, he went to UAE, had conversations about, removing the visa restrictions after UAE, slammed us with, different restrictions and all of that. So I'm so excited because if you look at some of these products, non-oil products regarding fish and seafood, oilseeds, cereals, cotton, pharmaceuticals and chemicals, and these are very critical to Nigeria's economy. And it's so funny when we see that happening, because this is going to ensure, as you mentioned, youth will be gainfully employed. Businesses, or business managers, CEOs will also be able to renew their visas. They can stay up to 90 days, within a year in the UAE.
And trade is
they also be able to import vehicles and all that. And on the long run, you will see that this will impact positively on our economy. And it's so funny when we see on Twitter one of the opposition figures who takes advice from a madman saying that, where is the president? No, it's funny. Where is the president? Even when the president was leaving the country, and he said that he would be going to attend, this program, which is the, as you said, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which they signed. And then we see all of these things being reeled out, and you have someone asking.
But Ibrahim, that's the work of opposition. If they are not criticizing,
no, if you want to criticize, it has to be reasonable.
Opposition will never say
it should not be meant to mislead Nigerians as to saying that we have an absentee president, and we see how much business deals, how much foreign direct investments we've seen, all of these outings are done. Germany, India, and all of that pledging foreign direct investment.
For me, I'll say
country.
basically it's just about economic growth for Nigeria. So at this point, we just need to make sure that our security is now very solid so that we can enjoy the economic growth, that will happen in Nigeria. We will take a breather now, and when we come back, there is a lot to talk about for the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.